What's going on YouTube? We got another gun build video, and today we're going to be talking about the Ppsh. Ooh, we're talking about that face melter right here, up close and personal with a fire rate that is devastating, leaving everybody you meet Swiss cheese. This is arguably one of those weapons that I'm almost guaranteeing going into Pacific Warzone. It's going to be one of those secondary metas. You're going to see this as either one of the strongest competitors against most of the other secondary SMGs that are going to be played out when those overkill builds come out. And with the sheer fact of how accurate this can be at short and close range, and the hip fire is extremely strong, accurate as well, this is one of those that I see being an S tier meta, unless the damage gets changed up a bit. But the fire rate is so strong that even if they mitigated the damage just a bit, I still feel like it'd be one of those strong ones, especially with how much ammo you have for the mag itself. Well, let's get into the attachments, and we got some gameplay to showcase this off. We got that new shipment map. It's a bit crazy, chaotic, but perfect for leveling these weapons. So we'll start off with the muzzle. Now I went with recoil booster. I just wanted to make the maximum possible fire rate with this weapon. Can be a bit hard to control, especially at medium range, sometimes even close up. That fire rate is a bit much, and recoil can be a bit to contend with. I'd probably go with the F8 stabilizer if you just felt like the recoil was a bit too much for you. Add that damage range on there. Get that tightened up on the horizontal accuracy. It'll work out pretty good for you. But for me, recoil booster, wanted that maximum DPS from this. Now when it comes to the barrel, working with the 230mm BO3P. BO3P, big thing about this, we're jumping that fire rate up to 1,200. Ooh, man, it's going to be coming out fast, and it's going to be high damage. We got 27 per round on this, working great for us. Absolute must. In the beginning, you could arguably go with the ZAC 280 Lite. Now, this is something, maybe if you needed a bit more recoil control, you could work with this, or possibly the EMPRESS 140mm Rapid. If you're looking for, something sniper support when it comes to later on in the Pacific Warzone, ZAC 300mm may be a good option, making it highly accurate, giving it a bit more of that range, bullet velocity, ADS time. But for me, the 230M BO3P, perfect for Vanguard. Now, when it comes to your reticle optics, whatever you want to call it, I went with the SLATE reflector. Precise, clear line of sight, perfect for me, but it's all up to your personal preference. Obviously, we don't want to cut down on that ADS time, or increase that ADS time, so we don't use scopes, especially since it's a close-range weapon. Now, in the beginning, when you're leveling this weapon, the K skeletal, you're gonna want to work with that 2 to sprint speed, or sprint to fire, and 1 to movement speed. But later on, now when leveling this, Empress Custom is going to work really well for you with controlling that recoil. It's going to be a bit out of the control when you're leveling this weapon, but as you progress and level this, it's going to get even more and more accurate, and you're really going to work in with that close range, especially on shipment as well. It's going to be a melter. With the Empress S12P, just for that sustained fire and a little bit of flinch resistance, I've had more than a few moments where the flinch knocked me off target and knock you off pretty quickly, and it's sometimes hard to get back on the target with how much flinch it occurs from this weapon. So this is one thing to help mitigate that. Now, proficiency, I went for, again, accuracy, recoil during sustained fire, just adding to that. If you felt like you could control the recoil from this pretty well, I'd probably go with fleet, just added movement speed. Possibly discard if you're just emptying the mag all the time, could help out, but reload speed's still pretty quickly. Haven't even changed this yet, but kit. Surplus, obviously, when leveling this weapon. You could go for quick if you didn't feel like you needed more ammunition, or if you had the field upgrade for ammo box. Grab it up as soon as you come in, and then just have that increased sprint speed. But I just go with fully loaded, so I'm ready to go straight into the action, pushing those enemies. When it comes to the rear grip, we wanted more flinch resistance. I went with the polymer grip for that accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Early on, could arguably go with the pine tar grip, or stippled grip in the beginning, just for that initial accuracy and recoil. Can be a bit strong, especially on those initial bursts. Can just fly off target and then sustain itself. But polymer grips, pretty much the best bet. If you needed more of that grouping when it came to horizontal, you could go for the grooved grip, but you're going to cut down on that ADS and that sprint to fire. Kind of need those for this weapon, especially since we're pushing in close. but polymer grip. Now, magazine. Now, you could arguably go for the 8mm, or, that's right, I switched this one up. This one's kind of up to your personal preference. I forgot about this. I was testing out this one. This is one of those where you kind of make the trade-off. Now, the big thing about this one, you're gaining another 100 on the rate of fire, but you're decreasing the damage. This is what I used in the gameplay. It's still strong, even though you're taking down that 6 damage. You've got -2 damage range and bullet velocity. Like I said before, you're really not going to want to push medium engagement fights with this. You really want to close in, get that close as possible, and just melt them with this. But if you felt like you could control the recoil for the Gorenko 71 round, as you'll notice, we're getting that 27, 6 more damage. Not much cutting down on anything other than movement speed and that ADS speed. But it can be a bit harder to control. As you'll notice, we'll get better vertical and horizontal from the 8mm Nambu. And personally, that is the one I would use, but you could argue either one works. You're just going to have a bit harder time to control the recoil with the Gorenko. And when it comes to ammo type, kind of at a toss-up. I tried lengthened. Hollow point works just as well. I'd argue you probably want to use hollow point all the time, especially in Vanguard, just to amplify that damage, since we are shooting so fast and it does have a bit of horizontal and vertical recoil. Can be going all around the target in a way, so you may be hitting more limbs than just straight onto that person. So the hollow point could just increase that damage and really help you out. And it works, but lengthened as well. Bullet velocity felt similar, probably a bit straighter. Main thing that not exactly sure how the bullet velocity is or how much it's affecting you inside of Vanguard, but this worked out pretty well, and this is something I'd probably run when it comes to Pacific Warzone, considering they may be nerfing the hollow point, or maybe it's not available. Who knows? We'll see in the coming future. And underbarrel, I went with the Carver foregrip. Now, you could go, especially if you're having a bit of issue with that horizontal recoil, M1930 could be a good choice for you, just to kind of help tighten that up and only give you, or give the ability to only have to pull down instead of kind of trying to wrangle in that uncontrollable recoil in a way. The Carver foregrip worked out pretty well for me, as well as getting that hipfire accuracy. Now later on, possibly in the Pacific Warzone integration, SMLE pistol grip will more than likely be the solid choice. This is something, or this is a weapon I'd say fully level this out, considering this was the last attachment you'll gain from this weapon. Get this one fully leveled all the way to 70. Shouldn't take you too long. I think it was only 5 hours for me. But at the end point, this is going to be a strong competitor inside of Pacific Warzone. I can see this arguably being, I'm not sure whether or not it'll be the strongest secondary inside of Pacific Warzone, but it's going to be close. It's going to be up there in at least the top 3, if not the #1 slot. But we'll see in the coming future. This is all theory, predictions, possible to come. But on that note, let's get straight into the gameplay, and hope you guys have a good one.
Good God, man. Is someone gonna cap a fucking point, or are we gonna lose this immediately? Like, motherfuckers just don't get it, do they?
You little bitch.
How many kills do you have to get that? I think it seems ridiculous.
Ah, great. Here we go.
Can I not fucking hit that guy or some shit?
Wait, what is that? What is that?
Oh no.
They put a mortar strike, didn't they? Oh, it's our mortar strike. All right, good deal. I'm in. Fucking hell, you can't be serious. Ah! I can't tell if that was that riot shield blocking me or not. Oh, God.
move out of my way. Damage range is not strong. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. Ah. Come on, come on, come on. Oh god! Dude, who is this guy? It is unreal. I can read now the bombers come. Ah. Getting ridiculous now. Of course. Spawning in a ship. No, nope.
Not bad. Not bad.
Maximum fire rate. Feels good. I like it. Hit shot.